Welcome back, we're on Tuderberg Forest here, and Tim's is actually taking a fairly central hunt at the moment. So we've got Andres here in the purple trunks, having been victorious in their game 1 in a map that is totally opposite to this. There's no water, it's very rushy, very difficult to hold on to your hunts. Andres might have another hunt here, possibly. Andres, purple trunks as Persia. Tim's in the green trunks as the Romans. This is nice for Tim's in a sense, playing this aggressively, because he's got two front side hunts. Let's get these guys back to work. I don't know what he's... Oh yeah, golf football there. So Andres. Same sort of deal, very similar hunt situation. There is a small chance one of the players can spawn with a hunt like tucked right over here, which is super hard to try and damage. So it's nice they've got fairly even hunts, where it's sort of two semi-exposed hunts. Obviously Tim's has gone for the more dangerous one first. What is he? He hasn't finished it. Where's his engineer? Oh, he sent him to go build the wood storehouse. I don't know why he stopped there. I was going to say, what happened there? So Tim would have actually had a much faster storeman, but spearman to start with, but he pulled his engineer over onto the storehouse. A little bit too early though. Rather than just having his villagers finish the wood storehouse. Andres is actually moving on to the front hunt because he's already invested in aid tent here, so that's going to really make it tough for Tim's to push here. Tim's is going to want to be very careful he doesn't fight with split spears, doesn't attack the scout, because otherwise these trades will really start to go Andres' way here. Andres can always back up and heal a little bit whenever he needs to. In fact, he's going to go forward storehouses. Very impressive. So Andres not actually producing a spar at the moment. He needs to get a house. Tim's a bit of a delay in producing some villages there. This is going to be good for Andres if he can force Tim's to fight in range of that. Tim's actually can't really afford to go in here. He basically needs Andres to dive him very hard and overstay his welcome for it to really be worthwhile. And this is good for Andres, not good for Tim's, because he's potentially going to lose that spearman. He needs to bring the others in closer and retreat with it, not the other way around. Oh, Tim's has actually got the resources for aging up here, which he will do. He can cancel that villager and go for more spears here, actually, which he probably should be doing. Just get as many units ahead as you can at this stage, because your opponent's got to try and transition to bows and just make sure you're ready for that. But ultimately, like, the barracks for Tim's is a lot more versatile here. But Andres is doing a great job of not overstaying with any one unit. Just making good use of that healing, kind of punishing Tim's for being a little bit sloppy with the spears. Andres is doing such a good job with this defense so far. He's able to heal two of the units at once here. Tim's is setting up for second TC. At the moment, Andres is just waiting to age up. He's gathered a lot of food. And for now, oh well, he's going to keep getting on the hunt. He's got 600 food in the bank. He just about cut that for a bit. Tim's having access to legionaries is going to be really good for him, because it's sort of going to force Andres to have to invest in range or be the more defensive player, even though he's won this initial early game. But because Tim's is investing in that TC and that range is coming up, Tim's is going to have to very quickly pivot to Auxiliary Camp or Praetorian behind this. Otherwise Andres is going to have a lot of potential to push here. But that second TC is in a good spot. It means that Andres is really going to have to try and push up towards this left side. He can't really dive in towards Tim's base. Protects the gold mine and that berries. Even this berries back here would be tough for Andres to get on. So Andres is getting stone at the moment. Actually, this is quite smart because he can go for the berries as well as the stone. So he is thinking ahead quite a bit there. Castellum here from Tim's, it could be a bit of a risk because again, we're going to have a few bowmen get produced. As soon as this town centre finishes, it's very forward from Andres. He knows if he can control all this, it really restricts Tim's in having to invest in a market early, invest in farms early, do everything he can to hold on to this gold mine. But here we got bowman production now. So Tim's is actually best off diving the bowman and just not letting it live with a unit or two. Like, they don't have a lot of health. They've got like half the health of the infantry. Really needs that Praetorium out ASAP. Town Centre's going to offer a bit of help. The two storehouses as well. So needs to make sure he's producing bowmen through this. He's got a little bit of gold, so he can actually queue one up. He's got a fair bit of wood in the bank too. It's food he's really struggling for at the moment. Tim's is possibly going to need to even look at towering here. Got a bit of excess stone, so he can afford to do so. He can definitely get an auxiliary camp or two here as well. Andres has really secured a lot of map control here. He's got access to a lot of resources, but at the moment, Tim's is alright. He's not needing to yet commit to a market or to farms at this stage. He's just got to make sure he can defend well here. He can potentially get Presidium as well. Really, probably could have even gone with one of these up here. Try and wall that in a little bit. Andres struggling a little bit for food and gold. Tim's struggling a little bit for gold. And yeah, we've got handsaw and pickaxe for Andres. No handsaw or pickaxe for Tim's, but he's taken 2 food techs. So yeah, our eco investment hasn't been the greatest so far. Tim's actually not producing out of both TCs at the moment. He needs to get that production into gear here because Andres doesn't build production now. He's got the potential for double bow production. It could get very ugly for our Romans player if he's not able to get good counters out and get them out quickly, because Persia has a phenomenal age 2. It does fall off pretty quickly in age 3, these bowmen though. You know, and the Persia player needs to get immortal camps from immortals, switch to making some Takabara potentially, if their opponent is starting to outmuscle them at range. So 42 to 37, so army sizes are actually dead even, considering there's a 5 population difference. Both players actually housed for the moment. I think that's one area the pair of them could actually work on. Armory now for Andres. No armories yet for Tim, so no armory upgrades to him for a little while. Potentially repair this Castellum, and it's nearly always worth repairing. As long as you can... In fact, Tim's could potentially snipe some of these bowmen and come in and repair this Castellum. He's going to try doing just that. The Castellum is really quite fragile. There's a good number of slingers in the mix here. But Andres is keeping those bowmen nice and secure at the back. Just have to bring the slings forward to try and kill individual bowmen, but there's not a huge front line here for our Persia player at the moment. There's some Decurions in the mix. We've got Spara, but we've got no Spearmen. They're hitting the Decurions. It's going to take a while for them to fall. And neither Spearman nor Spara are particularly good against Legionary. There's no Asabara to really tank. The team just needs to try and focus down these bows because they're really starting to get a bit of value here. So, Decurion and Q. Teams could easily afford one though. Well, Andres could probably have some villagers off food and gold on wood, and look at throwing up some stables, or even just another barracks to try and get some spearmen out. He isn't getting a huge amount of value over here at the moment, just bleeding his Decurion, so that's not ideal. Potentially just backed out here. He's going to take out the watch post. Greatest of value targets. Andres, age 3, getting his bowman champion, really pick up their attack rate. Very big upgrade. Tim's still in age 2, but he's getting his armory. Really get on top of that next gold mine. Oh, did he send those guys from the armory? He really needed to get on this gold earlier because he needs to spend all this food. He actually, if he has a bunch more houses, oh, and this is a good job cutting through here. If he has a bunch more houses, Tim's can actually just flood the map with like melee at this point. He can get a couple more slingers as well, but he needs to be mindful of just what they're attacking as well. So Mortal Camp starting here for Andres, who definitely still has map control for the moment, but he doesn't realise Tim's has chopped through here. Scary bowman ball he's put together. Tim's needs to get loom or get some engineers to do the repairing there. Third TC on the way for Andres. Tim's breaking through. Just going to try and take out that barracks quickly. See what's Tim's intending to do here. Actually, that gold will be very handy for him because eventually this is going to run out, and Andres, if he's aware of it, can actually just really push Tim's off it. But slingers versus bowmen, not a great trade for Andres. He's having to back up there. Over on the right here. Might be able to get a bit of value. Tim's isn't actually aware of what Andres has over here, but he knows he probably has something. These gatherers could be in trouble. Tim's isn't actually aware that they're there just yet. Now he realizes. Try and actually push forward here. Just take out some of the structures, particularly those storehouses. Not a huge amount of health, and they are basically a priest, 50 wood, 0 population priest, for all intents and purposes. Andres is a scary ranged army. There is a good number of slingers here though, and Andres still no Asabara at this point, or Takabara. Slingers deal so little damage to buildings though. Tim's really needs to get these guys in the fight because right now this is going well for Andres. Like, these bowmen are just unopposed. They've got their range, damage upgrade. I don't think Tim's has any armory upgrades at the moment. No, he doesn't. So fighting with into the buildings like that, Tim's is honestly best off bringing the slingers forward and then having the melee take out the structures, rather than just sort of overextending like that. a bit rough. He lost a lot of melee. Honestly, I think Tim's had a better army heading into that, but it's just he got stuck with the slingers attacking buildings, with the legionaries getting caught in small numbers up against the bowman wall. Right now, Andres is pulling ahead. He's got a big economic lead, I think. 85 to 50. Tim's really did knuckle down to try and get some value out of that, and it just didn't pay off the way he was hoping. The slingers, they deal basically nothing to buildings. They're great against this back line, but they need to be attacking it. There's no point in having them attacking the Spara, because they've got 50% armor at this point. GG. Andres takes game number 2 in the series. Yeah, in fact that fight, Tim's had, a much bigger army, but just having the slingers not focusing down the bowmen while the melee were getting caught by the bowmen was just a real killer there. Andres takes the game in the series.